WVUA News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Tamika Alexander. We begin tonight in Bibb County where a hostage situation ends with one man dead. Details in tonight's top story. According to Bibb County Sheriff Keith Hanna, Vance police received a domestic violence call on Pine Lane in Woodstock earlier today. When they arrived, Hanna says the suspect barricaded himself in his home along with his wife. He then made threats to the police officers, and that's when SWAT teams from both Tuscaloosa and Bibb County responded to the scene. Sheriff Hanna says by the time the SWAT team broke through the front door of the home, the suspect had shot and killed himself. A neighbor of the suspect says the incident comes as a surprise.
Just kind of makes me want to reach out and help people, you know, like people get in situations where they're like like he was, you know, if we could help them, you know, I mean, it just makes me want to do something. Like wish I could have done something to help him if I had known that he was going through such a hard time, but I mean, it's too late now, you know.
Police have not released the man's identity. Well, many people gathered tonight to remember the life of a Tuscaloosa toddler. 4-year-old Zykel Williams was killed Friday while crossing 15th Street in Tuscaloosa. Tonight at St. Peter AME Zion Church in Tuscaloosa, many came to pay their respects to Williams and her family. The service included musical selections by area choirs and groups, and a love offering was also taken up for the family. The Tuscaloosa County Commission is moving forward with the City of Tuscaloosa in a $3 million tennis facility project at J.C. Park. Supporters say this will be a boost for the economy, while others are wondering if $3 million is just too much for tennis in Tuscaloosa. WVUA's Travis Leader takes us to the center court of debate.
Supporters are saying the proposed Tuscaloosa tennis complex will provide children the opportunity for a new outlet after school.
We're going to be impacting about 20,000 kids here with respect to tennis and offering them an opportunity to move up and play at a junior high level and a high school level and possibly a college level here.
But others say, why just tennis? Some want to see a more broad-based approach when it comes to the vacant J.C. Park land.
One of the big things we've heard is just families wanting something to do. And for me, the idea of $3 million on a single idea is a little much. There's a lot more activities that we could do and spread that money out.
And while some say $3 million may be too much, local tennis advocates say the $3 million would prove to be a positive investment.
We believe that we're actually going to see not only the $3 million back eventually, but also a lot more than that in the way of revenue and tax revenue.
But is tennis the solution to bring a more vibrant recreational atmosphere to Tuscaloosa? Some say there needs to be a more comprehensive strategy to make Tuscaloosa County a more livable community.
If we had more entertainment, more family recreation, they would stay here. That's going to bring their housing in, that's going to bring their jobs in, that's going to bring their income in.
In Tuscaloosa County, Travis Leader, WVUA News.
Now, the project may not stop at $3 million. Cunningham says they hope the city funds a phase 2 project, which will increase the number of courts from 17 to 34. The cost for the second phase would cost approximately $2 million more. Cunningham says he hopes businesses can help join in and invest in the brand new complex. Well, an Alabama Circuit Court judge has ruled a law about the Alabama PAC program constitutional. Now, the Alabama Supreme Court must decide if the state may reduce payments of the prepaid affordable college tuition program. Some students at the University of Alabama are worried what all this means for their future. WVUA's Daniel Sparkman takes a closer look.
It's helped me tremendously. My parents would not have been able to afford college tuition. I would have had to have found other ways to pay for my college.
Rashawn Henner's parents began investing in PAC when she was still a newborn back in 1990, and it's for that reason that she can graduate this December.
Because I was one of the first to get it, I was guaranteed. And I feel really bad. It's so unfortunate that these people that invested later are not going to be able to get that, but I'm very thankful that it came through for me.
Other students weren't so lucky and now worry if they could even stay at the university.
I would have to take less credit hours, get a job, which I couldn't handle. I probably wouldn't be able to go to school here.
Jonathan Brazelton's parents thought they were doing the right thing and investing in their children's futures.
They're obviously mad because they put so much money into it when they were young, and out of college, so they didn't get to keep the money they were earning. They were paying for their future children.
However, there are some options for students who are left holding the bill.
We have an online option for students where they can apply directly online for what's called our student choice loans. And it's just like a regular student loan. It's just done through a different program.
Teresa Taylor, a loan specialist at Alabama Credit Union, says it's not hard to get approved.
As long as they've been working somewhere at least 6 months to a year, perhaps, they will probably qualify. It just depends on how much they're requesting. And sometimes even a co-signer, such as their parents, may be an option.
In Tuscaloosa, Daniel Sparkman, WVUA News.
The state treasurer said the program is paying full tuition for the fall semester. Since the case is pending, the PAC board hopes for a ruling before the spring semester. Well, former Alabama Chief Justice and current candidate Roy Moore stopped in West Alabama today. He spoke at a meeting of the Tuscaloosa County Republican Women. Moore spoke about a variety of topics, including the upcoming presidential election and the need to create more jobs. He also spoke about his candidacy for a job he was removed from back in 2003. Moore says he feels that the people of Alabama still support him.
It was about a constitutional issue. That's one thing that perhaps the public didn't understand at the time. It was about the meaning of the Constitution, First Amendment, the recognition of the sovereignty of God, which has not changed and never will change, is something that we've got to understand why that's important. And I think a lot of people thought it was just a religious thing, but it was much more than that. It was much more about the Constitution than people realize.
Moore will take on Robert Vance for the Chief Justice position in the November elections. And speaking of the November elections, the candidates running for the nation's highest office are preparing for their first debate. Jim Lear of PBS will moderate the debate between President Barack Obama and Mitt Romney. According to the debate moderator, the first 3 segments of the debate will focus on the economy, health care, and the role of government. The first debate is set for Wednesday, October 3rd at the University of Denver in Colorado. Well, turning to our weather now, let's get a first check on Alabama's home team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. Hey, Richard, it's nice out there tonight. A little cool, but I can take it. It's nice weather out there.
Yeah, to make it not bad at all. In fact, this nice stretch of temperatures continues out there. 61 Tuscaloosa, getting cooler tonight. Those low dew point temperatures allowing temperatures to cool on pretty quickly. No rain to talk about. In that clear sky place, allowing that radiational cooling take over, temperatures quickly fall like a rock tonight. No issues with rain tonight or over the next few days. Stay rain free. Here's forecast for Friday. Going to be out and about. Talking 63 by 9 o'clock in the morning. 79 at lunch and 85 tomorrow afternoon. Gets a little warmer during the day, but low humidity not going to be bad overall. How about the rest of that forecast? Look ahead through the weekend. Home team weather's coming up. Stick around.
Thanks, Richard. And of course, thousands of Alabama fans will head to T-Town this weekend as the Alabama Crimson Tide get ready to take on Florida Atlantic. And we're going to give you a live look at the Walk of Champions from the WVUA Tower Cam. That's where the Tide will hit the gridiron against the Owls. Kickoff is set for 4 p.m. The game will be on pay-per-view. It will be carried on radio on Crimson Tide Sports Network. If you would like to look at the game on TV, you can call your service provider for details. And WVUA is a place to start your football Saturdays. Don't miss Crimson Tide kickoff Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Gary Harris will have complete game day coverage with special guests, a breakdown of the matchup, and feature stories on the Tide that Saturday morning only on WVUA. But before you cheer on the Tide this Saturday, get your football fix tomorrow night. Football Friday is right after WVUA News at 10. Gary Harris and the WVUA sports team will bring you all the highlights from West Alabama's biggest game starting at 10:35. And from 2 sides competing for a title to a team that has already won one, the Alabama softball team is getting ready to celebrate their national championship. An official celebration is set for tomorrow night at Rhodes Stadium. Organizers say the first 3,000 fans will receive a national championship poster, while the first 1,000 fans will receive a bracelet that says, "Finished it." Gates open at 7:30. Following the celebrations on tomorrow, the ladies will be presented with their national championship rings Saturday during halftime at the Alabama football game. Well, in WVUA News at 10.